Tejasvinavadhitamastu Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are reading again the same remembrance, Marana, Sravana, and this is Marana, Sravanam, Padasevanam, like that it is this Marana, just two, Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Smarana. So this is the third practice of the Bhakti school, which is, so it is, the glory of this is been mentioned in the Bhagavad in different places. We have read the other day that the Jaya and Vijaya, they were telling that you have the sages in Jaya and Vijaya, page 202. So it says that you have rightly, you the sages have rightly punished us because we are offenders against holy ones. 202 page down, bottom. Because of the pride of these gods, as we always say, the God is much powerful than the boss himself. Isn't it? Always the gods are always powerful. Unless they allow you, you cannot see the boss. So here, this Jaya and Vijaya, they are the gods of Lord Narayana in the heaven. A great position, great honor to be a personal attendant and to take care and to see whatever. A servant should work in which way? Whatever the boss wants, no? But sometimes those who are guards, they take power in their own hand over the boss. And that always happens. When Hidaya Ram was serving Ramakrishna, yes, really, without Ramakrishna, without Hidaya, we could not have got Ramakrishna, because when he had no body consciousness, he was almost whole day lying in the ground, in the dirt and dust, not eaten, nothing, in the ecstasy mood. His body would have gone. He took care, who nurtured. But Ramakrishna said, as he has served me, so he has tortured me. He used to always control, and he used to feel always scared. So one day, one devotee has bought a pumpkin. For, I do not know why he bought a pumpkin for Ramakrishna, but anyhow, maybe. So but as soon as he entered, you have brought pumpkin, but don't tell, come, so much space. আসুন না এখানে ওখানে অনেক জায়গা said the pumpkin, and then said don't, and then he was apologetically saying, hey, keep it hidden somewhere and don't tell that I have asked you to bring. Did I ask you? Then he said, no, you didn't. We brought out of our own. And by that time, and Hridaya has come and see the pumpkin. Oh, and he started scolding. And he's Ramakrishna apologetic. I didn't tell them to bring, but they brought it. Oh, what can I do? I know you are taking good. Even Holy Mother came. That was the period. Hidaya becomes so powerful that he used to always be scared. That's why I sometimes surmise when Holy Mother walked all the way 60 miles in those days with her mother. Holy Mother was hardly how many years? 16 years or so. And first time she came in Dakshineswar. Anyhow, so whatever, and Hidayaram came, and right and left scolded. Why did you come here? This, that. Because they belong to the same village, they thought their own equal. Holy Mother insulted. Holy Mother even didn't stay at night. She prayed to the Mother Kali, said, Ma, if you bring me again, I will come. And then they walked back. This 60 miles, no? And I was sometimes thinking, why Ramakrishna was so unkind, that why he could not say something to this Hriday that time. No, it is not. How it is injustice. But he was helpless. Wow. He became like that, which is in the hand of Hriday, what you call that, in the hand of Hriday. So much dominating and controlling. Out of fear, he could not say anything. He remained silent. That was my. Why Ramakrishna was silent? He could have said something, no? Yes, anyone, suppose, walking in those 60 miles barefooted and crossing two, three rivers and boat and this, walking, there is no other. And then that is the treatment, and whether they have eaten anything or done anything, no question about that. Brutally saying like that, and immediately they saluted Mother and then left. So that because he was helpless in the hand. And he said that as he has served me, so has tortured me. Once I wanted to commit suicide. Even a man like Ramakrishna wanted to commit suicide by jumping into the Ganga water. Such was the terrible anguish of attendants. And actually, Hriday actually suffered from that. And after Ramakrishna's passing away, he was in a very terrible financial crisis and many other. And he understood all these things, but that was too late. But it happens. It happens. So it's the joy.
He was not only the attendant, but also he was asking him to give some medicine or something so that he can get money out of it, and he wanted to have his property and all this. That interest was not getting fulfilled. That made him angry. Or that desire.
That is another thing, that you want money, but that torturing Ramakrishna is not necessary for getting money. Yeah. You could get money by another way, rather pleasing Ramakrishna and going to who rich people coming to Ramakrishna privately telling, hey, I'll make you special. But he didn't get much by that. But controlling Ramakrishna is the question. Don't digress the point from one to the other. Pinpointed is how Ramakrishna was mistreated by Hriday because he had the authority that I have served him. It's my control, no? Where were you had I not been taken care of you? So you read the books, it will describe. You can, other aspects are there. Everything has so many aspects. The question is that's the joy, and you are saying something. Sorry.
I'm saying I thought one time Ramakrishna told me that okay, you get away by doing all this rude treatment towards me,
but don't do
not with the Holy Mother because he's.
And if he who is inside me gets angry, then at least you can be saved. But if who is in her gets angry, then your Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva could not protect you. You will be totally gone. So anyhow, so though they are great, they can forgive everything. So here happened the same thing. Jaya and Vijaya, they are the bodyguards. They have to take care of so that no one disturbs the Lord Narayana, and then this eternally free Brahmagyanis, Rishi Kumaras, four of them have went to heaven. Because rishis were eternally free, they have access here and there. So you went and then begged that I want to see. Seeing this, they are of small, young age, they ignored. They said, go, not the time. And they, no, now it is not possible. The Lord is resting. Then he said, no, we have come, please. Second time and third time when they mistreated, then the sages cursed that you are mistreating us and you will have to get a punishment. You have to what? To suffer in the, I forgot, suffer in the earth or something. So then when they cast, then the gods went and reported to Narayana. Narayana, hearing that these sages have come, he ran and greeted these boys. Come, come, come. They are Brahmogyanis, no? And then she greeted, and they were all dumbfounded, these gods. And then they cried out at the feet of the Krishna, Lord Narayana, we have, please forgive. We didn't understand that. This. But I cannot do anything. The sages forgive you, it is their affair. I cannot condone that. What has come out of their mouth, that will happen. And then they begged, and the sages become very kind, and they say, okay, you will have to be born 3 times in the earth. Well, okay, but if I be born there, then give us boon that every time you will have to be born to kill me. He will be the king, powerful king in the ground. So that's why we read the other day. They become Ravana. In the next page, 203, at the bottom of the second paragraph, you see, accordingly they took the 3 successive births as fraternal pairs. Titanic souls, noted for their power and antagonism to God, known in Hindu mythology as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they two came together. Ravana and Ravana's brother Kumbhakarna, two together, and Shishupala and Dantavakra. That is the third. 3 times they incarnated, and thinking God is my enemy, they lived the whole life, and then thinking in that way, they constantly remembered the Lord, Narayana, 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 and as a result, they are freed from the bondage of life. And it's page 203. So Mahavishnu destroyed them in turn in his incarnations as cosmic boar, as man-lion, as Rama, and as Krishna, and thereafter they got back to their places in Vaikuntha. Then they, after their all this, because of the only sin taking control, too much ego, pride comes. So it's very difficult. That's why in Vaishnava literature there is a word seva aparadha. You will hear this word. In the Vaishnava tradition, if you go to Hare Krishna and others, they will say, please forgive, seva aparadha. And I am wanting to serve you. But if I do mistakes in my service, please forgive me. Yeah. This is called aparadha. They are doing with good intention maybe. They are thinking, no, this is the time. She should not be disturbed. The Lord is taking rest. Sometimes it happens here. I may be in my room. Somebody came from India, and this is, last time it happened. They came at 3 o'clock. I was at that time. Even I was working something in the afternoon, and I went to maybe 3:30 to get up for the class or something. And that day no class provided. And they are waiting for one thing. And they said, no, you cannot, this Swami is not available before 4:30 or 4. And they are honest. And this poor guy, husband, wife, and the daughter all waited 1 hour afterwards. And that time I also say, oh, when I'm getting say at 3:30 I went to bed. And that time 4 o'clock somebody calls me. So I was in the nap mood. I said, let them wait for some time. So when I came back, I feel very, very ashamed that my pleasure of sleep. But these people have come and waited for such a long time. And they came from Wisconsin to here and waited 1 hour only to see me. So this type of thing, inadvertently or advertently, it affects the people who come with much devotion and love. No, so it happens everywhere. Some intentionally, or some with pride, some with ego. I am the controller, I am the master. That type of sense comes over there also. So that is the seva aparadha. So it is. That's why it is said, my offenders, you the sages, the this two people, Jaya and Vijaya, they are saying, the sages to the sages, you, O sages, have rightly punished us because offenders against holy ones. You are holy people. I have offended you. You have done the right thing. May it forever efface from us the tendency to insult holy sages. This is the point. Let me not ever, never insult any holy man. Yeah? So respect everyone and give honor. It is your duty, you report to the boss. Boss says no, then you are free. You have to be tuned with the intention of the Lord or who you are serving. If you dominate your will over what he intends, that is called the failure in your duties. And there is the pride that I am the controller. Ego comes there. I am the boss. I can allow, cannot, I can deny. So, but taking pity on us who are being expelled from the supreme heavenly state to a life of darkness and degradation. Suppose someone is living in the presence of God all the time, no? In the divine presence, all the time in spiritual mood, no? And therefrom coming down into the material world of our worries and anxieties and prayers and opposites, happiness and misery, fear and fear of death, fear of losing, fear of everything. It's just a great fall. So he says, on us it is being expelled from the supreme heavenly state to a life of darkness and degradation. Bless us, that is the blessing prayer, so that we may not have that forgetfulness of ignorance. I don't forget. I don't forget that ignorance. Rather, I am to think of God, not my pride, not my ego, resulting in the effacement of remembrance of the Lord, which will result in effacing that idea of remembering, forgetting God. Okay, now today we did the 16 and 17 on page 204. Through the words of Shruti, devotas, the Vedas conceived as female deities singing the praise of Lord Krishna. All conflicting forms of devotional attitudes, including those of confrontation and sex love, are reconciled on the ground that they are all forms of smarana and remembrance. Their words are followed by Krishna's words, stating the principle involved. That means in whatever way you think of God, even with anger, even with hatred, even with the love relationship as the gopis had for Krishna, no? It is, in a normal sense, it is not spiritual. Because all the gopis were married. Yeah, most they were in early days. They were married in the small when they are young. So even in 50, 60 years back, if you go, you will see that in India how many people are early marriage, and that's why they used to so much widows, so many widows, because they are married and then within a short period the man dies. Naturally, she becomes the widow. So, but their love for Krishna, is it not? Is it not a bad thing for a spiritual people? Why? They're running for a boy who is nice looking boy, singing, dancing, and making all types of jokes and funs. And they're all running, giving up their own relationship with the husband and duties of their. That is the story given in the Bhagavad when the Rasa Purnima, the full moon night, where that Krishna played the flute. And all the gopis, they were doing their all activities in the evening time. It is little late in the night, and that time he played the flute. And then these ladies, they were doing their work, but their mind is in Krishna. So the flute may not be heard by others. They are so keen, their mind in love, it's a paramount love, normally it is said. Mind is so sharp, thinking of, and they heard the voice. and someone is taking care of the ailing mother-in-law, father-in-law. Huh? God got that and give up and start running. Someone was feeding the baby milk, breast milk, and then left the body, run. Someone is cooking. That Bhagavat describes like that. Someone is cooking. They left the cooking pot, pan, ran. And they do not know. All are running. All the ladies are running, 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 running. And they do not know. Each one, who is going where, they do not know. But their mind is going on where the sound is coming. It is a significant, of course, spiritual significance is when the call of the Lord comes, many are called, few are chosen. Those with the pure heart, they respond to that call. And that call pulls them, giving up all the so-called duties of life, responsibilities of life. Their only responsibility becomes to serve God, to see God. For that you can renounce everything. That's why Ramakrishna said, when someone wants to be a monk, he said that you have to serve your mom and dad. If you cannot, then you are not fit to be a monk, to be anything. But if they put an obstacle for your spiritual life, then you can ignore. Even where Ramakrishna is so much promoter of love and respect for the parents, and he himself was an exemplification. He is a Brahmagyani par excellence. Every day he will come to mother, earthly mother, who was living in Dakshineshwar that time, and he touch the feet of mother and get the blessings. And mother, in a like she thought that he's my son, and bless him. How are you? How are you? Exchange few words, but so much respect. And he said, you can ignore your parents, even if they stand in the way of your spiritual journey. Huh? So this, for God you can renounce. That's why the love of the gopis, it is very significant. And physically it appears so-called social system will say it is not fair. In the middle of the night, and you all ladies are running, running, running. Huh? And then you reach Krishna, and then Krishna also funnily say, hey, why did you come over here? You have your family, you have your home, your husband, your and then there is a beautiful conversation in the Bhagavad. Then this lady said, "Wow, wonderful! You called us, you pulled our heart, and now you are saying, why did you come over here? I know that that you are our. They are not husband; they are fake husband. You are our real husband, etc., etc., whatever." And then they played and this and that. Again, in the play, when the ego came, see, there is a story. They are playing and dancing and singing with Krishna. Everyone thinking that Krishna is with me. See the distinction between this so-called love and the spiritual love. Every woman felt that the Jivatman, the Paramatman is with me. And they're getting united there. And they're singing, and each one feeling that type of. It is a very high spiritual realm. And then by that, a little pride came in their heart. Oh, I am so special. I am so blessed, no? The Lord of the universe, Krishna, is with me, no? And little pride came, and suddenly they saw Krishna disappear. And then you started this full moon night in the deepest forest of Vrindavan. And they started searching for Krishna. And then Bhagavat says beautifully that when they are searching for Krishna, they saw, suppose they are searching this, everyone is running to find where he has hidden or gone away. And they found that there is a tree, branch of the tree has fallen down. And one girl is telling the other girl, must be this path Krishna has moved. Why? You see, even the tree which is offered the flowers at his feet, because he has gone through this way. That's why the broken branch means it has to offer his salutation with the flowers it has happened. He found that some of the deer, they are As the deers are always like that, alert, no? Have you seen the deers? They always alert. The ears are little soin and seeing them and seeing their eyes, you know, these deers might have seen Krishna going this way, because otherwise why they're so excited? Look at their face. They're creating all their imagination, or in their mind it is God's love has touched everyone. And then with that, their ego being destroyed, and then Krishna appeared again. That is the story. The whole spiritual meaning of it is that so long you love God, whatever you be love God with love, with hatred, with anger, the feeling of animosity, whatever is your attitude, you will reach God. Because God, the pure, the stainless. So, but the same thing you do for others, you get drowned into the world. And it is the getting out of that. And ego should be demolished there and destroyed there. Why it is opening up? Lock it. Bas, that's all.
Swami, what was the story? The reason why Krishna married like 140 girls? He was trying to save some women.
You know, when Krishna was killing all these demonic kings, those in the whole India, different places,
Okay.
and these Raja Mahishi, so called the queens, they are also these kings have conquered other kings, and they are captivating these queens. So rather, he freed them, but they wanted to have the company of Krishna, the Lord. That's why it is a protecting force. That's why they stayed with.
So he was
Not that he wanted. Not that he wanted.
right. So he married them to
Protect them. And married also, it was because to make it legalized. And the kings have those rules that they can marry so many. But others are forced in other areas. But this is, they wanted them because knowing this is Lord Krishna.
When was that? When Krishna was king of Mathura?
Okay, so this here, this verse says, the true remembrance, your antagonists attain to the same spiritual goal as the sage who had established complete control over their vital forces, mind and senses, and meditated on you in the heart. Yeah? It is a beautiful statement. That the yogis are meditating, yogis are praying, the bhaktas are praying, doing all this activity. The yogis are controlling the senses, breath control, vital forces means breath control, mind control, sense control. Gyanis are saying, give up all this, give up that. For what? For attaining that freedom. So he says, through remembrance only. Here, the devotees have to do nothing. Only remember Lord. Remember the Lord all the time. Whatever your mood is there, anger mood, loving mood, all the different moods of human mind, take advantage of all. And that's why the 5 moods, Shanta, the complacent mood, Dasya, the servant boss mood, and then Shakka, friend, he is my friend, beloved friend, Labharan the beloved, Shantudasya, Shakka Vatsalya, my child, he is my child, or he is my father. Take any of your moods, utilize that and apply for God. You that will lead to the same realization as the yogis are doing, as the gyanis are doing, as the others are practicing, karma yogis are doing. So through remembrance, your antagonist, even those who hate you, like Ravana, Shishupala, those stories in the past, in the what has been referred, they were thinking God is my enemy. So if he is born, I will kill him. So thinking of he is my killer, so antagonistic attitude. So you remember, as I say always, remember your whom you love, you can forget that. Whom you love, during day-to-day all business, you can forget. But if you get a threat that your head will be chopped off, and that threat, and it may happen anytime, then what will you think? You will think when someone is coming to kill me. That you cannot forget. Huh? If one says, okay, I love you, I'll see you in that time, maybe a little remembrance and forgetfulness may be there. Huh? But if one says, I am going to chop your head, wherever you go, I will find you and kill you, then you will be thinking of that person more intensely. That's why antagonistic attitude is also a deep practice, but we should not do that. It is for special people. They have done and they have achieved something, but not for us. To you, we, the Shruti devatas or the Vedas conceived as female deities, who commune with your presence in everything alive, and the women of the Gopikas of the Vrindavan, who long for the embrace of your powerful and handsome arms, are of equal worth. No? See, so we become equal by remembering you only. A mind that thinks intensely of sense objects becomes converted into the form and nature of those objects. As you think, so you become. No? You think of something, your face will change accordingly. You can see the changes of the young child or young boy who was under mother's care in a very good disciplined family, and suddenly they go outside and they do not know what to do. They fall in some association. Within few days, you see their facial appearance. If they go to the wrong association, the impact of that wrong people's attitude will be expressed in their faith. So a mind that thinks intensely of sense objects, those who are thinking of that, they becomes converted into the form and nature of those objects. And a mind that thinks of me, mam anusmarata cheto eva praviliyate, they dissolve into me. It is like a casting the mold. If you think and just cast yourself, your mind, into the mold of Ramakrishna, 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 you become Ramakrishna. Because your inner personality will be totally charged. Not that you will be looking like Ramakrishna, that much intensity is necessary. That only Brahmananda, that not all the time. But sometime when he's deep mood, he would look from a distance, he is like Ramakrishna. That is too high, but at least the inner personality will be totally transformed. If someone says, I am a spiritual person, but I am the same guy, I think all the time I am the same. That is not transformation, that is not spirituality. What do you?
I was thinking that maybe those who took birth from antagonism in their past life, that's why we have atheists.
Yeah.
They do rebirth and they don't want God.
There may be so many backgrounds, right? Atheists also, many reasons may be there. Say, looking at the injustice in the world, they can say, you believe in God? Why so much injustice? What type of God is that? The innocent children are being, normal blame against God is this. That's why Vedanta is safe. Vedanta does not say that it is God's doing. Vedanta says it is your doing, your Buddhism. It is your doing. That's why they don't talk about God. Buddha didn't talk about God for this reason only. Because God is in danger. It is difficult to support the Lord. Because if God is such, why it is going on such nonsense things in the world and they're getting away doing all these nonsense things again and again. So that's why Vedanta say it is no. God is nadatte kasachit papam no chaiva sukritam vibhu. God does not give you any sin or curse you with sin. or bless you with anything. Ajnanena, by your ignorance, abrita. You've been covered by ignorance. You think that way. But it's all God. You reap your own karma. That is the karma theory there comes. But point is that then in the why you say God? God has created a system, and you are fallen into the system, and so suffering and joy, and it's part of life. So the note says on page 205, it says yogic meditation, philosophical contemplation, antagonism, and carnal affection are all equated in the above verse as means for attainment of the Lord, who responds to the followers of those path in a manner appropriate to their respective attitude. The intensity of their mood and the fact of the divine being the object towards which their mind is directed, are the reasons for their attainment of union with the Lord. So the intensity, that's why Ramakrishna used to say, you have to dive deep and intense. He said only floating on the surface, you cannot enjoy that much. You have to dive deep inside. That's why the song, Dubu 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 rup sagore amar mon. Oh, my mind, dive deep, dive deep, dive deep down. So that is Thakur used to sing. So intensity of their mood. What is the intense mood? And the fact of the divine being the object. And your object should be divine. The object should be God, the absolute, pure, and full of bliss and joy. That divine. Towards which their mind is directed towards. That's why we do meditate for what? We pray to God, what? To Krishna, to Rama, to Ramakrishna. But it should be, our mind should be pinpointed and focused, and intensity should be there. If it is not intense, it will not absorb. And that's why we try to bring that intensity. In the morning, in the temple, we are every day trying our best. No? People say, I am meditating 2 hours in the morning. So we are trying all these things to create that intensity, real intensity. Because I meditate means I float around everywhere or I sleep. Either of the two things we do. Yeah. So it is, but who can do it? Intensity. And intensity of their mood and the fact also of the divine being. The divine being, I am meditating on him, the Lord of the universe, towards their mind and towards that which his mind is directed, then at the reasons of their attainment of the union with the Lord. So that's very important. Mind is like a cup. Mind is like water. That's why it is considered water. You keep in a cup, it takes the shape of the cup. You put it in a glass, it takes the shape of a glass. You put in a jar, it takes the shape of a jar. Don't blame mind. Where you are keeping your mind, which jar? Ramakrishna jar. Then it will be Ramakrishna. If you keep in worldly jar, it will be worldly. So it is you to keep there, and you should be intense. Really you mean that. Not to show people or not for anybody, but for your own deep inclination and finding the truth. The attainment of communion through confrontations, we have Viddesha Bhakti. This is called the Kangsha, Ravana. They worshipped God as Viddesha. Viddesha means animosity. He is my enemy. Rama is my enemy. Or what you call Krishna is my enemy. So thinking of God as my enemy, my enemy, my enemy, I'll kill him. If I find, I'll be protecting myself. I prepare my army and I will fight. So always thinking of, and he may kill me out of fear of death. Constant think. This is called Viddesha normally. But here he is saying word Viddesha Bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. This is a practice of devotion. Even if you hate God, that is a bhakti.
That is the Bhajastuti.
Huh?
Bhajastuti is another one. You are praising, you are criticizing someone, but actually you are praising in the mode of criticism. In Sanskrit, there is one type of expression like that. Like that, someone you that sometimes mothers say like that. Oh, my child is so bad like that. She doesn't do this that. Actually wants to say good thing, but bajo stuti, stuti, but bajo.
Bad stuti or bado stuti.
Boy jofala, borgio jo, stuti.
Oh, bajo stuti. Oh, আমি জানি না. Okay, good idea. Maybe. Anyway, you remember God. Here emphasis is that anyway you think of God more intensity. The So the attainment of the communion through confrontation with Desha Bhakti has already been discussed in the notes on the earlier verses. The example of attainment through carnal affection referred to here is that of the famous Gopikas, the milkmaids of Vrindavana. There is much confused thinking regarding the attitude of the Gopikas. The difficulty in accepting the doctrines of communion to confrontation is often overlooked with ease, probably because of its impracticality and non-occurrence in actual life. In our normal life, we cannot say I love you by hating you. They get separated. If it goes too much, they get separated, divorce. But you cannot say I love you more because I hate you more. But for God, the table turns in a different way. The table turns even if you think of God in a anger form or in a viddesha, but you can reach God of love. No? But we cannot, let me finish this. But we cannot so easily dismiss the attitude of the Gopikas, which has been taken as the example of the highest form of bhakti by great theorizers of the subject like Narada, Sandilya, and which forms the central theme of the teachings of the great Vaishnava Acharya like Chaitanya. Parabhakti, Prema Bhakti. Sri Chaitanya, Krishna, Jagannath, Swami, Nayana Patami, crying and weeping, pangs of separation, all these human experiences of love in a divine plane with Krishna. The same. So, separation anxiety. They say in a normal life it is human, but the same separation anxiety for God, that is spiritual, and that intensely purifies the heart, and they feel the tremendous connection with God. It is separation. Separation anxiety is an anxiety developed because of separation. When shall I meet? Shall I meet? I'll miss him. I cannot wait for 1 second. That's why Sri Chaitanya has said, Yugaitang nimeshena Govinda virahena me. Viraha means the anxiety of separation. Viraha. Virahena me, my separation from Krishna, the Lord beloved, for a moment, blinking of an eye, how long it takes, even fraction of a second. Govinda, Nimesha. Nimesha means just. Nimesha, mathematically it will be maybe fraction of a second. If I miss him for that fraction of a second, when the blinking of the eye takes, I feel I have not seen him. Yugaitam. As if I have not seen him for years and years. Ages. So could you believe that how much intense is that connection? Though it is separation. That's why, Radha Krishna play always, we used to see that there is a play of separation is long. And ultimately they unite. And it ends. Unite ends means you are one with the Lord. Finish. There is no fun, no play. You are one. But before that, when shall I meet? How shall I meet? How long I can wait? I cannot wait anymore. It is all my burn. And Ramakrishna used to feel the burning sensation all over the body. Such a tremendous burning he could not withstand. And he used to put the Ganga clay being in the Ganges, used to take the clay. And this clay over his body, when he used to wrap like that, within few minutes, it will be like a burnt clay. It will fall down. Such is the heat. And he used to drown himself in the holy Ganga up to this. But still, and he used to put wet towel always over his head. Such is the heat generated from the separation anxiety. It is called viraha. It is spiritual. Because it is spiritual, it is extraordinarily, it is not manifested in ordinary people. We have not that purity. We have not that intensity with our love for God. And then came Bhairavi Brahmani, the lady guru of Ramakrishna. And as soon as this lady guru came, and Ramakrishna, like a child, said, Ma, you see, I have tremendous burning all over my body. What shall I do? I cannot, even I put a wet towel, it gets dried up within few seconds. What can I do? And she said, I know this is not a physical disease. Doctors cannot do anything. I know its solution. It is yogic. It is because of this feeling of separation. Then she prescribed, and within 3 days, the problem was solved. What is the solution? We said that to sandal paste, make the sandal paste and smearing all over the body. 3 days with garland, soft satin flowers garland, wearing that, and it is a miracle that all this burning sensation left. So point is that intensity, intense longing for God, that is the point. Yeah. Okay, thank you. The doctrine, however, is complicated by many ethical problems arising from the fact that our accepted moral codes equated carnality and adultery with sin. People may take advantage of this. Krishna did it. I can do. So you become 1,000 then. When the 1,000 women are dancing, and every woman felt that Krishna is with him. So you be first show that, and then you go for their following Krishna's path. What nonsense. Vivekananda said, don't utter the word of Radha or Radha Krishna love story unless you are fully celibate for 12 years. Being fully celibate for 12 years, only you are capable of uttering the name of Radha. Such pure, such stainless. Their mind is not in the physicality, but they are all in the intense love for the Supreme when He incarnated in the form of in a human personality like Krishna. It happened the same thing, because it is so many thousands of years story. People think that it is a, how come? When Ramakrishna was born, it happened the same thing. Ramakrishna happened, you read the life of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna, when he was born as boy, small boy, all the young girls of the neighboring families will wait when they can see Godai. But Godai, she's a young boy. The same thing, the Radha and Krishna, the story goes, the boys and girls, she was a very young boy of maybe 12 years or 13 years. That is the period that Krishna played in Vrindavan. That means it is maybe 9, 10, 11, 12, this years a boy in a village. How simple the boy may be in a village boy. No? And the girls maybe 9, 8, 7. It is not with any sex education like in this country. It was not thought of. Such a pure idealistic society was there. And they are grown in that family and they fall in love with it. For whom? It is a man or a woman. We make it always Krishna and Radha adult. We'll have to make adult Krishna, adult Radha, and then it's fun. What are you creating? That's why it is said it's a pure, extremely pure mind can think of Radha Krishna's love. Because it is a very high altered state where you can think that it is really this type of relationship can exist and you can be totally saturated in God consciousness. There is nothing but they are doing every work. This story I have not finished that story. When they came, a whole night play was done. Now these girls thought, my God, if we go home, what will happen? I'll be caught. The mother-in-law will catch, husband will catch. Where did you go all night and we don't see you such a long time? Surprising thing, when they came back, no one told anything. As if nothing has happened. They saw the lady who was feeding the baby, they feeding the baby. Krishna took charge of that. She became the lady here. He became the lady there who is taking care of the old mother-in-law, father-in-law. It is surprising. All the activities are going on. And they came silently. And the meaning, there's a deep meaning. This connection happens in the internal world. Physically, you may be there, but your mind was totally absorbed in Krishna. That's why it's called Leela. Spiritual practice in devotional way is that you may be living in Hollywood, but you can live totally in Hriday Vrindavan, the Vrindavan of your heart. The Vrindavan, Kamarpukur, your heart of Kamarpukur, the heart of Kashipur Gardens. You can stay there and you can enjoy. Yet physically it is not the point. Where is your mind is there? So they are the highest example of purity, of selflessness and total dedication. So everything happened not physical. That's why I say all the Krishna Lila, all the singing, dancing, all what we hear, it is in a very high altered state of spiritual consciousness. That's our explanation. But people will not. Physical Vrindavan is there, of course. We go. I went there several times. And that's a wonderful place to feel that Krishna played in this place. Every dust is the dust of Brahman. Ramakrishna used to say, every dust of Vrindavan is holy. Why? Because the gopis played here with Krishna. So their foot, the dust of their feet is there. So that's why feet is so holy in India. Yes.
So they must not be the 19-year-old to have baby and feed and all these things. So they have to be.
God knows, in early days they would have baby.
To be adult.
I do not know. I have no idea. But maybe someone of them maybe little 10, 12. I do not know. I do not know whether that is the age or you are thinking of the modern context. I do not know.
Is there some story about how Radha and Krishna used to change clothes or something? They used to play
Oh, that is there. That's a play. That happened in Ramakrishna. You don't think that it is only one story in Krishna's play. The ladies used to come, and in those days, you have no bathroom like that, shower and this and that sophisticated thing. Even today, you go to the villages, one ghat we call, the landing steps, the women are taking their bath, and then a distance another for the men, another for the women. So, this boy, Ramakrishna, Krishna's time it happened, when they started taking their bath, and he stole their clothing and hanging and he climbed on the tree and then keeping those clothing. And these ladies coming don't find anything, and they had no shame because that was dedicated for the women, and they do not know where did it go, and they found that Krishna and he's smiling mischievously and like that, and say the significance, I'll say, it is these 6 fetters, the same, what you call, Lajja, Grina, Bhoy. Lajja is what is called?
Shame or embarrassment.
The shame for our
Body
consciousness. That is the main thing. Ki Lajja in English, ki Lajja, Grina, Bhoy. What is the translation?
Bashfulness.
Anyhow, because that is a barrier. Though I am a woman, I have this body, I am ashamed of the man. It is to wipe out that. No, because innocent, as you are innocent, you will not. Ramakrishna is to nakedly move everywhere.
Shame, hatred, fear.
Shame, hatred, fear. So, shame is the point. So, You have to not be shameless. Adult people with ego, pride, and body consciousness. If I do that, it's a crazy. People will beat us. That people are doing also. In a rough society, people do that, but in a polite society, it cannot be imagined like that. So Ramakrishna did the same thing. These ladies were taking their deep in the Haldar Pukur. If you go anytime, go to the Haldar Pukur. That is a big pond reservoir, and people used to take shower, and that is the water they used to take for their home for cooking and drinking. So such was the water condition. And the ladies, when they go, and he will come, he's a young boy, so pure in heart, they have no sex idea. Suppose a baby, are you very ashamed to change your dress in front of the baby? Who will that? Either by mom, dad, brother, sister, anyone can do, because they have no sex idea. So that consciousness is not there, that is not in your mind also. And as we develop, we have our sex idea. Therefore we see, therefore we cannot be behaving the same way as you can behave with a child, baby. So he started coming, and naughty boy, Godai is so nice, but he's so naughty. Then when we are changing our clothing and we are all ladies, and he will come and he will hide and he will sit there. Somebody said, "Hey, don't come here. Don't you know these are the women? And why are you coming here? You boy, go." He thought, why they are telling that? I don't understand. I see. And then next day, he saw more. Well, I saw yesterday 3 of you taking shower and come out. I saw today 5. I saw then. And then they are getting angry, and they report it to Mother Chandra Devi, Ramakrishna's mother. And mother has a beautiful way of saying. And then he said, "Godai, are you doing like that?" "Yes, ma'am. They are saying you should not." But why I should not? I don't feel any difference. I see them with cloth, I do see them without cloth. What is there? I don't find anything. Well, you may not think anything, my child, but we are women. I am there in all other women. So I will feel bad if you see like that. Or exactly what I forgot. That is the. And if you insult any one of them, they feel insulted by that. You may not have anything in your mind, but they feel insulted. If they feel insulted, I feel insulted. So it is not good to. And then he understood and gave up. But the point is that this story is not a only story in Krishna's life. It has happened in the Jairam Bhatti, Kamarpukur. The same story. The village, the girls are fan of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna fan, all the young girls of the village. And there is a pine house. They are rich people, and pine guardian, in those days, men folks are very powerful. Women will be inside, and women cannot get out and talk to any boy or this and that, everything. So they are very proud of that. But Godai will go in between and go in their home, and everyone will be happy, singing, dancing there. And Godai has a beautiful voice of music, and he will be then playing the role of what have been theatrical performance has been done, open stage theater those days, and everyone. And if Godai does not come one day, all the girls, one family have 5 or 6 young girls, and their parents are very careful not to go to Godai or anybody. But these girls will make a trick. They will have to, how they can go out. So their jar full of water, they throw away and tell mom, there is no water. So we'll have to go to fetch water. So I'm going to fetch water. And other sisters say, "Hey, go and meet, where is Godai? Why he didn't come today?" Go and inquire. And so what they will do, say, fetch, and first entrance is Godai's home. "Auntie, where is Godai?" And Godai was sitting, and they will have some eye contact or something. "Hey, we are waiting. Why are you doing like that?" And then they will go and take the water and then come back, and Godai will sneak. And then there will be a mart of joy. So it is the whole village were centered around Godai. Old, young, adult, everyone. So it's the same Krishna Lila. It can be created a very nice story after 100 years, 1000 years. This may be a beautiful story, what I told you, and make a very more uh, interesting for movie or theater.
Shukdev also didn't have body consciousness.
Yeah. So the point is that if one has no body consciousness before that person, you don't feel shyness. A woman or man. See, sometimes some people were really out of mind, totally naked, maybe in the street, but you don't feel any shyness for that. But a man with consciousness, body consciousness, you will feel shy. So this is psychology. And so Krishna was so pure that there is no question of he being shy. Ladies will be shy before him. It is impossible. Then he is not Krishna. Or you have to break all the fetters. Your this shyness, your fear, your all these eight fetters they call. 8 fetters in the gospel you find.
I think one of them is hate, anger.
Hate, anger.
Yeah.
It was shame,
Shame,
hate, anger,
Boy, fear.
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 I forgot all this. There are 8 such. If you are a Brahmagyani, you will be above all this. That's why Sri Ramakrishna, so many big guys are there. All came to see him. And sometimes in his ecstatic mood, because he has no body consciousness, his cloth falls down. And he's talking and talking, and suddenly he said, "Do I look very odd? Like a child?" And no, it is not for you. Everyone will say, it is not for you. We don't feel like that. So body consciousness is the question. What is the time? Oh, 10 we end here. Uma. Okay. Acha, then you will have some vacation. Vacation is this. Next Wednesday, Tuesday, I'm not here.
Thursday.
Only one Tuesday I'm. Thursday, this Thursday is no. Next Tuesday and Thursday, no.
And Tuesday.
Next.
Thursday.
Truth
Thursday.
Shots will be on 18th September.
Yeah, so
18th he's back.
Oh, okay.
18th of 18th Tuesday, this class will restart, and I'm leaving for Pittsburgh. I'm leaving for Pittsburgh, Washington DC, and North Carolina for that, and then I'll be from North Carolina to go to San Diego, and from San Diego Trabuco, then come back here on Monday. So that Tuesday will be the class.
Tuesday.
Jai Thakur Jai Ma. So good. So let us go for a cup of tea.
No class Thursday.
হ্যাঁ
বেশি আজকে
আর নিচু করছেন কেন? জয় মা জয় মা। চলুন। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, boil the water and I will make the tea. Only just water and boil. চলুন।